case. So that is Yucko the Clown.
Churdleys. Subscribe.
A murderer is really going to submit to a background check. They're going to find another way to get a gun and do what they're going to do. It's interesting how all these things happen in gun-free zones. They're in movie theaters. They're in public schools. There are places that where guns have been banned or where these shootings are taking place.
So what do you think can be done to prevent stuff like that?
That's a deep problem. I mean, people, it's in the heart of man that matters, not necessarily, you know, countries where weapons are banned, they're killing people with knives. People get killed every day with cars. What about these people who drive into crowds of cars? Are we going to start protesting auto manufacturers and banning people from driving cars?
I guess the idea is that with an AR-15, it's so easy to kill so many people in a short period of time, you know?
It doesn't matter, AR-15, any weapon, you know. It's not the gun, it's the person. What about the Boston Marathon runner? Did it with a pressure cooker, used a bomb. I don't think people are thinking clearly about the problem.
Right, I guess the idea is if you had a knife, you'd have to really, be like a really good knife guy to do something bad.
Life just has inherent risks. And restricting those who exercise their liberty, which is the majority of people, exercising their liberty responsibly and making laws for the...
Well, she's working in that area of picking shit up.
The mass is based on the sins of a few. Doesn't make any sense. Besides, these same people have no problem killing babies. They have no problem with abortion and legally murdering children, and yet, you know, when it happens, it's because it's all ideologically driven. That's not rational.
Channel 5. I guess he switched to like all gas no brakes.
No, I thought he was all gas no
He
brakes.
was, but
and
he
then
lost his channel. And
Yeah.
now he got
Now he's
to
on
Channel
Channel
5.
We believe in education, not legislation, and that is the key to safety.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head?
I forgot. That's some copyrighted music right there.
I'll provide the music. Ain't that a kick in the head?
That's a baby.
He's carrying a gun!
Go over there and carry that gun. Take off his pants for that shit.
God, it's like a conservative peep show out there. No wonder I'm raging.
It's tense. The pain of a national tragedy does not bridge divides here.
When was a shooter a member of the NRA? I want you to tell me. You can't, because it never happened and it never will. You're an idiot.
I believe you have the right to own a firearm, but I do not believe you should be 18 years old to be able to have an AR. When you use an AR, you're going to kill people. You don't go hunting for deer with an AR.
When the founding fathers defined freedom, they didn't think that ARs were going to be part of it.
Or black people.
Yeah.
Or people of color.
People of color.
And how about freedom? They want to talk about how we shouldn't ban.
Or black people.
I think what he's trying to say is that the founding fathers didn't have a prescience, you know.
Hey. Love you, Tay. Let's reply to that.
Tay's on day. Some get shot while others carry on.
Where's chocolate rain?
Dude, that's the last thing he wants to hear about. Somebody already said something about chocolate rain.
If only we
Two
had
people
listened-
said two.
It's just only we listen to it.
History quickly crashing through your veins. That's the third one. It's trite and hackneyed, man.
Fine,
You're gonna have to be a little
I'll just be
fresher
nicer.
than that.
Love you.
Somebody already said they love him. First comment. You have nothing to say to the guy, man.
Come in me.
There we go. Originality. This is some of the best commenting being done right now.
Guns, because that's hurting our freedom. How about abortion? We're forcing women to have kids.
I see you have an Antifa flag right here. How would you describe yourself politically?
I'd say I'm a socialist. So I believe in taxing the church, taxing the rich, abolish the police. Police are supposed to protect us in schools, right? But in Uvalde, they didn't. When I get older, like old enough, 21, I'm gonna own a firearm because I don't trust police to solve my cases.
Marx said in his Communist Manifesto that we should arm the proletariat. Just arm the proletariat to ensure that they're able to defend themselves.
Well, my sign asks a pretty obvious question that I think everybody should be asking. This is the right time to have a celebration of guns right on the heels of more than a dozen kids and teachers getting murdered a few days ago in Uvalde. This is ridiculous that we're the only country that has to deal with this, and that's what today is all about, is voicing our righteous outrage at our elected officials and the people at the NRA who decided to celebrate guns with blood on their hands today.
This time at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas.
We've just learned the death toll is up to 19 children and 2 school employees gunned down during their last week of school.
The shooter legally purchased 2 AR variant long guns within a week of his 18th birthday.
Dude up there is tossing magazines out to the crowd. Give me one.
You got it! It just holds 30 rounds.
Gun.
Look how
I'm
he's
a big,
dressed.
I'm a big NRA proponent. I'm a life member.
It's always
The
so
timing
awkward. He always
sucks, but I mean,
especially when he used to wear the
it
suit.
is what it is. It's,
Oh, yeah.
This doesn't have anything to, there's no connection between this and what happened in Uvalde. There just isn't.
What do you think that we can do to stop mass shootings like that?
I think it goes back to the basic family. I'm 66 years old. When I was in high school, we used to take our shotguns to high school to show our coaches if we got a new shotgun. Then we'd go bird hunting after school. There was never a school shooting when I was in high school. What's different from that to now? What's changed?
Your
What do you
shotgun's
think,
not
James?
an AR.
It's the family. Look how many single parent families.
Gun all the time in school. I was like, yeah, but eventually some people are just starting to get angry towards the world, everything else. I mean, before Columbine, there was that one shooting in that one college from the bell tower.
Yeah, way back in the desert.
So, I don't know.
And then at the same time, there was the National Guard gunning down innocent people in Ohio that were, protesting the war.
Is there all? Just go to Chicago. Look at the amount of crime in Chicago. I mean, they have 40, 50 gun shootings a weekend.
I guess the difference would be that, like, in Chicago, a lot of that violence is gang-related. We're talking about kind of lone wolf shooters walking into an elementary school with an AR-15.
It's troubled kids. I'm not a big gamer, but, I mean, I've seen a lot of the video games, and there's a lot of them that are just shoot them up, blow them up, It doesn't look real.
Yeah. So how do you think we can rebuild the American family?
That's got to be done at the street level. Single parents are...
I don't know. Everyone always talks about the basis of video games, music, and then obviously they see on TV. I don't know. There's not really been studies shown that video games have shown violence. They have some studies that show that video games suppresses sub-violence or help blow off steam because you're able to kill something that you're not actually wanting to kill.
Well, there are also studies that show that catharsis or blowing off steam, things like that, are complicated, if not they go against the point. They reinforce the reward for violence.
They also say that within what's his face, Marilyn Manson's music.
Yeah, well, that makes me get real upset too.
Running 30-40% of the households. It takes 2 people to raise a kid.
Why does anybody need to have, an AR-15?
Guns have been around here since the beginning of America. So,
but back in the day, it was like muskets and stuff.
It doesn't matter. Nowhere in the Constitution does say.
What do you think about increased background checks?
I think the background checks is adequate now.
Hey! Right there, exit, please. Across the street.
What do you think could have been done to prevent what happened in Uvalde a few days ago?
We could have banned assault weapons 20 years ago.
The murder at Uvalde, Texas will tell everyone that we need to have guns under control. We don't take guns away from people, but we have to have a proper background checks. That is the only way we can avoid these kind of murders of children. You cannot say, well, we hire police or these are mental people. Abbott, he said that there's a mental problems with the United States.
Anybody who shoots somebody else has a mental health challenge.
What about the rest of the world? Do they have mental problems too? No, they don't, right? So that's why we are here.
It's better that the government knows that people do have ARs. Governments have killed 260 million people in the 20th century. You know, Stalin, Mao, whatever. People say, oh, that'll never happen here. We all live in a bubble. We are the most privileged country on earth. From the homeless guys here to fucking Bill Gates. Ha, crap, where's I going with this? What was I gonna say? Okay, governments, this, that. Okay, you know who EDP is?
Yeah.
I'm the guy that caught him.
Wait, you're the guy who caught
No.
EDP?
Yeah.
So how do you think that we can prevent mass shootings like the one that occurred a couple days ago?
Eat the pussy. That's
Oh,
his.
yeah.
He was the guy. Well, these are what guys. Well, you say you watch a YouTube channel where they catch predators. Well, they do the same thing, but turns out they were talking to this other YouTuber named EDP, and they had like a whole.
Oh, that was like recently. Wasn't it?
Yeah, well, semi-recently, but yeah, they had like a whole conversation of like, of logs of he was texting a supposed 14-year-old girl, and the way they were trying to catch him, he was just like, oh, I was just here for a cupcake that she offered, and so I was gonna tell her to go home, but they caught him. But there's like a whole backlog of like him taking pictures of his shit and sending it to the girl. And he's like, look at this fat shit that I took. And then he's like, it's all like greasy pizza I was eating. And he was like sending it to that 14-year-old and shit. And then, so that's weird that he's like, you know, EDP, I caught him. So yeah, he basically has like a whole backlog of everything. Supposedly EDP's back, but I guess he's on TikTok. But everyone shamed him out of being an Uber driver. He had no money left. He basically
can't survive.
Yeah, and so now I guess he's on TikTok, and now he's on like some weird website where people were trying to cancel him, but the only way that he can make money off that, because so people are calling him out, but you have to pay to be on the other side. Fucking bug.
You mean like subscribe or something?
I guess kind of like that, but yeah, it's his original was EDP 4456, something like that. But it's but it was Eat the Pussy. That's what. But he used to talk sports and everything, and he gained a pretty nice following and shit. But that's pretty crazy though.
Who caught EDP?
Yeah.
So how do you think that we can prevent mass shootings like the one that occurred a couple days ago?
The reality is, there's Salvador Ramos is out there. The reality is, there's Peyton, whatever the hell his name was, Adam Lanzas, yada yada. People will be uncomfortable if there's teachers armed in schools.
Yeah, we need more guns around the schools. And we protect our president with guns. We protect our congressmen with guns. We protect our governors with guns, our celebrities, sporting events, jewelry stores, banks. And then we protect our children with a sign that says, this is a gun-free zone.
I see that you have Rosa Parks here. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I met Rosa Parks. She's anti-abortion. She's a good friend of MLK. He's anti-abortion. He was anti-abortion. So, case closed.
He's wearing his glasses.
Over there. Yeah, because we're never gonna trust a guy looking like that.
He's anti-abortion.
It's that a guy like that, just like you and I, can go buy a gun today, and he's walking around like that.
That's a kid that I would rather trust around my
Earth
kids.
is flat. Windmills cause cancer. Oh, and those are myths. Republicans are pro-life. That's a myth.
MLK, he's anti-abortion. He was anti-abortion. So, case closed.
I see that you have two Mike Lindell My Pillows attached to your belt loops on either side.
Yeah, Mike's a friend of mine. I've only met him once in person, but he knows what I've been doing for him.
That's his cosplay. He's wearing a cosplay. I just realized. So he's wearing a Mike Lindell cosplay right there. That's his whole MO right there.
No wonder he's making me so hot.
He sounds like a good friend.
Yeah, he's a good friend, and this is a little bit more firm. And they're the best pillows I've ever had.
Which one do you prefer?
I prefer the softer one, the medium fill. The standard's a little tough on my neck.
Did you enjoy his pillows prior to his endorsement of Donald Trump?
Well, they've been around for a long time. I couldn't afford them. He cut the price in half now. Here's a tip. Don't order them through the mail, because they come wrapped up with no box. Go to Walmart, get them in a box. The box is going to be worth more than the pillow.
Why?
Because it's classic. I'm getting ready to go over to the communists that are packing guns.
Do you think it's smart to engage with them?
I screamed profanity at them and it made them angry. They can't tolerate freedom of speech, but they expect me to tolerate them threatening me.
What is your favorite piece of profanity to hurl at an Antifa BLM soldier?
Fat baby butcher bitches. Fat baby butcher bitches.
Well, you're gonna go do it again?
Yeah, I'm gonna go do it again right
All right,
now.
well, I'll see you over there, man. Don't let those Antifa communist bastards take your pillows away. Godspeed, soldier. You're doing the right thing.
I had 150 of them screaming in my face on the 14th of this month. I'm at Rosa Parks. I don't give a fuck.
You don't know shit!
You don't either. Look
You're
at
a
you,
dumbass, and you're proud of your
inbred fuck.
stupidity.
You fucking fascist piece of shit.
America!
I got took off with
Look at his right. Looks like a superhero. Where are you going? He said he's not going anywhere.
Do you think there's any type of common ground that could be reached?
Yeah, there's a little
He said
bit.
he's not going anywhere.
I think they could change some of the requirements to own an AR. You know, back in the old days, we didn't have the same type of weapons. So they could change the law and make it 21.
Do you think that kid should have been able to buy an AR?
I don't know. Somebody worked on the kid's brain. They worked on that one in Buffalo also. He drove 300 miles to shoot black people at a store. He probably could have drove a few miles within the city he was already in.
I guess the main difference is like the dude in Buffalo was motivated by like racial hatred, whereas it seems like the guy.
It was only racial hatred because the guy was white.
I think he had the N-word written on the gun, and he published like a big manifesto talking about.
Abortions, you motherfuckers have.
Well, that's what they're telling us.
Fuck you.
I don't know the facts because I haven't seen them.
We are done with your bullshit.
Why would this kid put a manifesto together anyway?
Chuck Schumer didn't want us to pass laws to protect schools. He doesn't want cops in schools. He doesn't want to harden the target. He wants your kids to be killed. That's why the Democrats advocate for murdering children in the womb. They don't care about life. The NRA has a fucking thing to do with it. You idiot. When did the NRA kill somebody? You're an idiot.
I know who you are. Dude, what the heck? I want to talk to you.
What the heck, man?
I know who you are.
You're a total bro. You're a total bro. I'm juicing today.
So how do you feel about what's going on right now with them over there?
I don't not like them. They're human beings. I love everybody. Okay, they have souls. You're an idiot. But it's just sad because they're confused. The problem isn't the guns. The problem is a people problem, okay? Ever since 1973, we legalized abortion. I think that was a real downfall in American society because we've murdered millions of children. Why is it okay to murder children in the womb? Real downfall in American society.
Fucking specimen, man.
My name's Lance and I like nuts. Damn, son.
Murdered millions of children. Why is it okay to murder children in the womb, but not okay to murder kids in school? I know this isn't your usual thing. You usually just let people talk, but I want to listen to what you think.
Well, I'm curious if you think there's any common ground that could be found between.
See, that's a very complicated thing to talk about, and I think there is room for that. Okay. I think we can have mental health evaluations, and I think what was it, Dad? What was the statistics like for the adult population?
It's about 25% of the
Yeah.
adult population in America is suffering from some form of mental illness.
Yeah. I think people in general should be evaluated and should have help. Whenever you go into a gun store, you have to fill out a paperwork called a 4473 and say, hey, they're going to run a background check. This 4473, this document, it's a document to look at your background, okay? It's not going to know the heart of man. We need to better keep up with the health of our people because we're suffering people, okay? We have more access to hardcore porn on the internet, whittling down the psyche of humans and literally making us just sick people. You can't legislate morality, and you can't tell what you are really going to do. At the end of the day, we live in a free society, and we have these rights and privileges, and that's what happens. You know, they don't have school shootings in China because you can't own firearms in China.
Do you know that the most popular porn category in America right now is incest?
I had no idea, no.
Isn't that insane?
Why? Why is that the case?
You're there with your dad. You tell us.
Do you know that the most popular porn category in America right now is incest?
I had no idea, no.
Isn't that insane?
It's like, what the fuck does that mean?
It's like, nope, not me.
Not me. I don't look at my stepson like that.
Insane?
Why? Why is that the case?
Tonight, leggings, shapewear, and handbags came down the runway. But this is no ordinary fashion show.
Discreetly designed so no one can tell that you have a weapon.
The concealed carry fashion show targets what the NRA calls its fastest growing demographic, women.
You can totally tell she's carrying.
That reminds me for the
NF Doom?
The NF Doom.
NFT.
NFT. NF Doom T. What is it? Pull. What is it? Like guy pulls guns.
But not for me.
Out.
That thing.
It's like an old video, but like this guy like pulls like 13 guns.
As this student's appearance demonstrates, having a lax policy about dress makes it easy for a student to conceal a weapon and makes it difficult to identify intruders on campus. A dress code can reduce weapons violations, relieve tensions between gangs, reduce disciplinary infractions, and generally improve the atmosphere of the school. Our policy requires that students tuck in their shirts, making the belt line visible at all times. Our students may not wear baggy pants or colors and insignias that are commonly associated with gang activity. This policy was a collaborative effort between the parents, teachers, and administrators.
The sun here is a perfect weapon. Just install a couple C4s.
I just thought Democrats wanted to murder him in the womb. Because he was stuck with that child since he didn't have the option to abort.
Alright, we just arrived in Uvalde, Texas, which, as most people know, is the site of the most recent mass shooting that took place around a week ago, where 19 students and 2 teachers were killed at Robb Elementary School.
This is the Wendy's where the shooter worked. Apparently he used to work the graveyard shift at the drive-thru window until about 2.5 weeks ago. He quit abruptly once he had saved up about $4,000, which was enough to buy 2 assault rifles, ammunition, and a bulletproof vest.
This is the store where the school shooter picked up the guns and ammunition that he used in the shooting. He actually ordered the guns online, but this was like a transfer store where they shipped it here and then he picked it up. This is where the shooter drove his pickup truck through a guardrail and crashed out, like right here. Got out of the car, went over to the funeral home here, shot at a few people, but then didn't hit anybody. Then he walked over into this building, and that was the site of all this.
You go to sleep seeing their faces. You wake up seeing their faces. What can we tell them? We don't want to scare them. And the other poor little innocents that didn't make it. You know, their parents were going crazy looking for them. I'm sure they're in a lot of pain.
And my husband was here getting the mail when he heard gunshots. But he's having a hard time because he just wished he could have done something to prevent it. Our community will never be the same.
Si decimos que no hemos pecado, le hacemos a él mentiroso y su palabra no está
how
en
much
nosotros.
money the local flower shops there made that week? And the people that sell votive candles, rolling it, man. NRA's in bed with flower shops, man.
You know, they say that when a mass shooting happens, that's when the gun stores and gun businesses make the most money, because that's always that scare tactic about either getting taken away, or, you know, I got to protect myself.
So anytime that firearms business is slow, they just orchestrate another mass shooting so that they can drum up demand.
I know Joe Rogan does believe that some of, you know, like the Proud Boys or whatever, they believe that they are government officials, because they said recently, if you look at them, some of them should be fat and gross and ugly. You know, I'm like, well, that's not really necessarily the case. I know if you did see those 31 people who were in the whatchamacallit, they did look kind of pudgy.
They're talking about the Proud Boys. That group with the lady whose son got arrested.
Amen.
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 She loved Guns N' Roses. She loved that song, Sweet Child of Mine.
She's a beautiful little girl. I liked her song. That was her favorite song. She loved Guns N' Roses. And she would dance around her room singing Sweet Child of Mine.
Sorry.
I love this country, and I'm so grateful for everything it's given me and all the opportunity that I recognize I wouldn't have if I was somewhere else. That's not lost on me. And at the same time, this should encourage us to want to be better, and we're not.
I think AR should.
It's a picture of his ass.
And it's a
Captain America's ass.
But it's a satire of the cover of the album Born in the USA by the worst musician ever, Bruce Springsteen.
Hey man, can't be knocking the king like that.
You mean the boss?
The
You don't
boss
even know
like
what he's
that.
called. You're talking about
I was about to call him
Elvis.
the Prince or the boss. I don't know who
The
he
Prince.
is.
Homie, that's Prince.
Nah, that's Prince.
Be Ben?
Fuck yes. There's absolutely no reason for that.
Mind you, I have a pistol, but I don't think that a semi-automatic weapon is necessary in our country. I just don't see the need. I don't see the purpose. I think in this case, I know the bodies of the children were shredded as a result of that. What do we need that for? I don't understand it.
They say that like having those high capacity assault rifles are the final line of defense against a tyrannical government.
Oh please. I think we're already facing a tyrannical government when we have things like this happen. Well, there's no excuse for this. I don't care what they say. They're wrong.
Unless it happens to one of their own, then they're not going to do anything.
He looks just like my neighbor.
You know. And Ted Cruz, he's a sorry person for a position that he holds. I'm sorry, but it is such the truth. But we're not supposed to say anything? If he can say what he wants, I can say what I want. They just rushed in. That's their job. What, almost an hour before they decided to do anything? No, that's unheard of. It really is.
Breaking news in the investigation to the school shooting tonight. Texas DPS is telling us the Uvalde CISD police chief has not been cooperating with investigators. On Friday, DPS Director Steve McGraw said the school district police chief was the incident commander at Robb Elementary School who made the call to wait to take down the gunman.
If they had, they would probably save several of those lives. It's ridiculous.
This is fucking bullshit. Like, this is preventable, and this is absolutely unacceptable.
Boys, I got the snacks. Don't worry.
Snacks secured.
Snack security, guys. My name's Jim, and this is my job. I'm a snack security over here.
Yeah, we got the goods.
And
I just like how he just flips it.
This is absolutely unacceptable. When we talk about how great this country is, this is unacceptable.
Unfortunately, like so many things, in a couple of more months it'll blow over like this never happened, you know?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think this is going to blow over anytime soon.
Then the audacity of the people that went to the NRA convention in Houston, for them to say that they don't need to make any changes? What's wrong with them?
What's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? Damn, son.
Where'd you find that?